departing Preston Marina in Lancashire, England, on the morning tide, bound for a weekend cruise to North Wales. Our route will take us out of the River Ribble and into the Irish Sea, south past the entrance to the River Mersey with Liverpool beyond, and then southwestwards along the North Welsh coastline and into our overnight stop at Conway Marina, which will mean a voyage of around 60 miles. The boat is Island Lady, a Channel Island 22, a compact yet very capable and seaworthy vessel based on Nelson-style pilot boat designs. For this trip, Island Lady has myself aboard and fellow Preston Marina boat owner Rob, who takes the helm to pilot her downriver. We take care to stay within the river's navigable channel, with the deepest water marked along the way by vertical posts or perches. The familiar landmarks of Blackpool's shoreline mean that the river will soon become the sea. The point at which this happens is marked by Gut Buoy, the distinct landfall or fairway buoy. We are cruising at around 6 knots, about half of what Island Lady is capable of, but we are in no hurry, and the optimum time to enter Conway Marina safely is 2 hours before the next high tide. This speed should get us there at the right time and will keep the fuel consumption low. We start to encounter large ships departing and entering Liverpool ahead of our path. The rules of the sea demand that all vessels maintain a constant lookout. The visibility is excellent at the moment, but Island Lady is fitted with radar, which could be of great value should the weather change and the visibility be reduced. This is the Manannan, the 40-knot Isle of Man ferry. The entrance to the Mersey is marked by the distinct bar lightship. A long line of ships sit at anchor, waiting for their turn to enter the busy port of Liverpool. Traffic jams can't be avoided even at sea. We negotiate our way through the numerous wind turbine farms which have appeared in Liverpool Bay over recent years. The Welsh coastline lies ahead, with greying skies developing. With time in hand on our route, we make a short exploratory detour to look at Llandudno Bay, a popular seaside resort, with a view to making it a destination for possible future trips. The Victorian Pier, set against the backdrop of Great Orme, a prominent headland with an imposing cliff face. The lighthouse at Great Orme's head was built in 1862 and warned mariners of the dangers of this rocky headland until 1985, after which more modern navigation aids took over. The lighthouse is now a small luxury hotel with spectacular views. Drizzle descends as we round the Orme into Conway Bay. The channel into the Conway River is marked by floating buoys, which are followed along with constant checking of the charts, keeping vessels departing Conway on our port side. With its superb location, Conway is the equivalent of a 5-star hotel for boats. After taking on some diesel fuel, we are very lucky to be offered a visitor berth for the night, as there is very little space. Luckily, Island Lady's small size usually makes it easy for her to find a nook or a cranny to fit into somewhere, although she still feels at home amongst the super yachts. After paying our dues at the marina office, and then a quick shower, we take the short stroll along the shore path into the historic fortified town of Conway. Conway Castle, built by Edward I as part of his conquest of Wales, was completed in 1289. It is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It took a few attempts to find an available table at the many pubs and restaurants along the way, but we think fate must have played a part, as we were welcomed into Johnny Doe's for what I honestly think was the best pizza I have ever tasted. Overnight, the winds had risen, meaning our departure from Conway had Island Lady punching through some chop and spray over the bow. We are heading for the Menai Straits, the strip of water between the Welsh mainland and the island of Anglesey. At this state of the tide, we can take a shortcut through. The steady breeze is perfect for this high-speed windsurfer. After a 9-mile passage from Conway, we are in the Straits. We head for the quite literally named pretty seaside town of Beaumaris. The pier at Beaumaris is in constant use by the busy tourist trip boats taking visitors and holidaymakers for wildlife spotting cruises, fishing trips, or just high-speed thrill rides. We are able to sneak onto the end of the pier for a short time in order for Rob to go ashore, to buy a pint of milk and a quick explore. It's bumpy on the end of the pier with the tide running past, so I stay with the boat to keep an eye on her. We are kindly offered the temporary use of one of the trip boat's moorings, which we tie up to in order to have some lunch, take in the views and wait for our optimum departure time. We head out of the Straits through the northwest entrance, a gap between Anglesey and the smaller Puffin Island, so named because of the seabirds which use the protected island as their nesting site. Once out of the Straits, we spot a few miles ahead of us an impressive-looking, brightly painted red and white ship. This turns out to be the brand new state-of-the-art research vessel, the Sir David Attenborough. This is the ship that narrowly avoided being named Boaty McBoatface after the public were invited to christen the vessel. Our inbound route back to Preston takes us more offshore than the outbound route, with just one course change to avoid the shipping lane surrounding the large Hamilton offshore gas rig. Eventually we see Blackpool Tower rising above the horizon, helping to guide us back towards the Ribble and home. Gut Boy bobs in the swell as we re-enter the river at the optimum time of 2 hours before high tide. A nosy seal pops up to see who we are. Once in the river, we reduce our speed to 5 knots as we don't want to outrun the incoming tide to ensure we have sufficient depth in the river all the way. The water is totally smooth as we pass the familiar shoreline of Lytham St Anne's with its distinct white windmill. Our passage upstream in the fading evening light gives us time to make a quick snack while underway, and then tidy and prepare the boat for arrival at Preston Marina at high tide.